Hello, welcome to Dungeon Dwellers Podcast. I'm your host Justin. Today for Image Month, we're reviewing Wildcats issues 1 through 4, which was originally a mini series. You have Jim Lee, co-creator slash artist, and co-creator slash writer Brandon Choi, who apparently Jim Lee and Brandon Choi are lifelong friends since they were like kids. Brandon Choi also is the creator of Wetworks, which I had no idea that was him. One of these issues, I think it was issues 2, which issues 2 looks really cool because it has like a holographic cover. And issue 2, yeah, I was right. Issue 2 comes with like a little preview of Wetworks. Though, like, you can probably get Wetworks for like $1 now. So the story for not Wetworks, Wildcats, is that you have these two alien races that crash landed on Earth that have been at war with each other. The Damonites and I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce the name. Chernovim. It's like an angel term, right? It's like a Christian angelic term, right? They've been fighting on Earth for a long time. One of the Chernovim, the good guys, Void, who's like this psychic lady, wears this like all like silver like onesie, looks sexy as fuck, not gonna lie. Recruits this homeless guy, Jacob Marlowe, because he's like the reincarnation of one of the High Lords of the Cherubim, Lord Imp, and within like 2 years makes him like a billionaire, and he forms this team of like superheroes to combat the not cherubim, they're the cherubim, to combat the Damonites, who are planning to create a gateway to their home world, sending ships to invade the Earth, right? And the leader of the Damonites is Hellspawn, but it's pronounced in the cartoon. It was pronounced Hellspawn, but it's spelled like Helspont. Don't know why that is. He has like a half-breed mercenary called Pike on his side, who looks like a Deadpool ripoff, and Coda Assassin. Coda Assassins being like these like warrior women, right? Which on the Wildcats side, you have Coda Assassin named Zealot, who joins the team with Grifter, her partner, who are also fighting the Damonites. They also, our characters are trying to recruit half human, half Cherubim descendants, members of the team that are already on their team, that have already been recruited. Is Maul, who can grow large and increase his mass, but like the bigger he gets, the dumber he gets. They didn't include that in the cartoon. You also have Warblade, who can turn his fingers into blades, and he can stretch his limbs. You have Spartan, who's like a cyborg, who's been training the other two guys. Our main characters find out about a new Cherubim half-breed called Voodoo, who's a stripper, who are the assassins of Hellspawn, are already on their way to kill her in Washington, D.C. Grifter and Zealot are there. They protect her, and they meet up with our other Wildcats characters. The Wildcats is a term used by International Operations, which is this like Shield ripoff they have in the Image comics. Um, that their leader Lynch even looks like he. Not only does he look like um, Nick Fury, but he has like he's like he dresses like Ultimate Nick Fury, and even has like the scars over his like uh right eye or his left eye, right? But he has like a cybernetic eye, so it's like holy shit. They had this like Nick Fury ripoff, but he's like a combination of like Marvel's Nick Fury and like Ultimate Nick Fury. But way before even Ultimate Nick Fury was even a thing, because this is '92, and like Ultimate Nick Fury came out what, like 2001 or 2002? I can't remember exactly. Yeah. So the term yeah comes from them. It means like rogue covert action teams. That's where Wildcats comes from. Yeah. So they meet up with Voodoo Child, who's like she's like a psychic. At the same time, they teleport, and they accidentally, while they were getting teleported, they get pulled into like the international operations base somehow, because they have like psychic scanners that psych the planet for like threats, I guess, and they sensed like they were teleporting and brought them over, but they teleported out. In the next issue, International Ops attacks Wildcats base, but it turns out it's not a real attack, even though like Jacob Marlowe blows out the knee of one of their psychics. But after that, not David Lynch, I forget Lynch shows up, tells him, "Hey, I know about the reunification plan." That's what Hellspawn is calling their like day and night invasion, and tells Jacob Marlowe, who's the leader of the Wildcats, you're gonna tell me who they have, because Hellspawn, to get the funding for their like operation, they had like a mole inside the U.S. government, and it turns out it's the Republican vice president. What was his name? Graham something? Or I can't remember. That's the thing. I read like the first two issues yesterday, and I read the last two issues this morning, so my memory's a little hazy. But yeah, basically, like the VP is possessed by a demon knight named Belial. Belial and Pike don't get along for some reason. They go to the Wildcats. Go and attack the reunification lab, where they're gonna open up a portal to the Day Night homeworld, which they have the location thanks to Lynch. And the team splits up. Maul, Voodoo, and Spartan go to attack the VP, who's possessed by Belial, and the other team goes to like attack Hellspawn. The Spartan's team runs into Youngblood, which is Image's like supposed to be like their Justice League. It's made up of the Red Archer Shaft, Chapel from Spawn. You got this rock guy named Bedrock. You got some Wolverine kind of looking dude, Wolverine / Cable looking dude who's like an alien called Combat, and I don't even know the other characters. Oh, you have the other Deadpool ripoff called Die Hard, who you wouldn't know by his costume that he could fly, but he can fly, right? So in the third issue, they attack. They get attacked by Youngblood. They have a little fight. Spartan, I can't remember how Spartan loses his arm, but he loses his arm. He gets like pretty much one-shotted. Maul grows too big and fights them off. Eventually, Voodoo Child or Voodoo, as she's called, exorcises the VP, and they expose him for that he was like, you know, possessed by an alien. After that, Wildcats and Youngblood team up and defeat Hellspawn. And that's pretty much the end of the miniseries. Okay, so like, what are my critiques? Well, like, we'll get to the pros. I really like the art. Jim Lee's art style was pretty great. I love the whole 90s aesthetic to the costumes, right? And there is some ultra violence. You see like Warblade like plunge his like bladed fists, bladed hand through one of the Demon Knight's chests, right? After he transformed into like a demon, right? So that was cool. You also have Jacob Marlowe blow off the arm of one of the bad guys named Gnome. There's also a third team that are there. Gnome and his triad. I don't know how big they are in the Image universe. I'm kind of a newbie to the Image universe, right? Yeah, so you got some cool art by Jim Lee, cool ultra violence, you know, cool. I love the character designs, even though Warblade, I'm not 100% on his costume. But you know, besides from that, I think, you know, the art looks great. There's some cool action, right? Now let's get to critiques. I did not like the fact that they made the evil possessed alien, possessed politician a Republican, because it's like kind of like, you know, an attack on like Republicans there. You have the one guy, chap was like, I ain't no Republican, but he's the VP, right? But after he's gets exercised, he seemed like a good guy, right? But like, who knows, right? Because I think if you read the Spawn comic book, issue 1, which I reviewed, they said like Al Simmons was a Republican. So like, you know, if you have Chappell being a Democrat and like, you know, Al Simmons being a Republican, that's kind of cool that like they don't do like what like comic book companies do today, where like they give pretty much all the good guys are Democrats and all the bad guys are Republicans. Vote Democrat. Like, they don't do that. But there was like an ad to go vote in one of the issues, right? Oh, and I like the comic book previews. Like on the 4th one, it also comes with a comic book preview for some comic book called Tribe. At first I thought, because there was like a black guy. At first I was like, oh, is there like a Tribe Called Quest comic book, which is some like rap, like hip hop band from the 80s and 90s. I don't know. I didn't have time to read it, and I had no interest in reading it, honestly. When it comes to comic books, I'm primarily only into like superhero stuff. Maybe once in a while I'll check out like, you know, horror stuff or like, you know, fantasy stuff, but primarily I'm just in it for the superheroes. Okay, I feel that's what like Western comics does better than like than the Japanese as superheroes, right? So another critique is the characters will swear and it'll be censored, which I feel like is kind of dumb. Like, if you're gonna have swearing, just have it. Don't like censor it. That's just dumb to me. Like come on, right? Like I think if you have swearing, even if it's censored, it would still piss off parents, right? So it's just dumb, in my opinion. Other critiques that I have, I don't know, I didn't like that Spartan like pretty much was like one shot, and then you find out like, oh, Spartan dies and sacrifices himself, right? But it turns out, oh, because he's a cyborg, they have multiple bodies for him that he can just download his consciousness into. So it's like, wow. So like that I don't know, that feels dumb. And like, if you read the comic books, they eventually replace like Spartan anyway. So it's like, okay, like then why did you guys replace them then? Like, I don't fucking know. They replaced him with some like black haired like white and red costume guy with a cape, right? I don't know. I think he's like a Superman clone. I don't know, dude. But I don't know. Overall, I thought these this miniseries was pretty cool. You got cool art. I was able to buy these comic books for $1 each, right? Which was a good price. If you can get that, you know, it's pretty good. It's worth the money, right? $4 for like a miniseries, you know. Especially with the cool Jim Lee art and character designs. I don't know. I thought it was great. For what it was great. Though I would have been nice to see like Grifter kick more ass, which, you know, he mostly gets his ass kicked in these issues by women, which he's not. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was good, right? So our next review is going to be Skull Kickers Volume 3. Alright, that's all I gotta say for this podcast. See you later, guys. Peace. Oh, also, Otaku Underground podcast is going to be later today, but, you know, it might not be late uploaded today. It might be uploaded tomorrow morning. Alright, peace.